Hey everybody. So, right on time, right on target here. Things are going crazy. It's Gemini season. So, actually, this is an eclipse about the Sagittarius lunar video that's coming up on June 5th, 2020. That is a week from today on Venus's day, Friday. And as you can see in the chart here, Venus and the Sun are conjunct during the eclipse. We've got a lunar eclipse at 15.5 degrees Sag. And this is kind of crazy. The whole eclipse energy is pointed directly at Mars in Pisces. So very, very close T square. If you look at the arc minutes, about a third of a degree from an exact T square to Mars. So that's pretty intense. What's that going to bring to us? Well, I don't know. Maybe we're already seeing it. We've got Mars, Ceres, and Neptune and Pisces here all together. So Ceres, the suffering of women and children, the abuse and oppression of women and children, and the resulting grief. And Pisces, the sign of the All One. Mars and Pisces, a little bit challenging because Mars is the warrior and Pisces is universal water. So, think of the swordsman trying to sword fight at the bottom of the ocean. And then Neptune, good old Father Neptune, the archetype of we're all one, the cosmic imagination, ethereal beauty, the beauty of the soul, very creative, imagistic feeling archetypes, so music, dance, photography, film. And on a deeper level, our imagination and how we're using our imagination, all highlighted by this eclipse. So whenever you have an eclipse or a full moon or any opposition that's making this triangle shape to something over here, that's the stuff that you really got to kind of tune into. And there's a lot of, Pisces is the collective soul, the collective consciousness. So there's obviously a lot of unrest in the collective soul right now. And, interestingly, this Gemini flavor with Venus retrograde in Gemini from, May 13th through June 25th, Om Shukraya Namaha, and the Sun in Gemini at this eclipse. There's a very strong duality energy in there, and Phoenix and I are going to talk about that on our next podcast and our next Saturday Day Live, and in our Cosmic Fire community circles that we're doing, complimentary to all Cosmic Fire members during eclipse season. So if you're not a Cosmic Fire member, please come over and check that out, cosmicfire.org. We need our enlightened community right now. There's a huge push by the parasitic matrix level forces to divide and conquer, to divide us along racial lines, along socioeconomic lines, along lines of if you believe that you need to be wearing a mask and staying home and somebody's trying to make you go back out into the world kind of thing. I'm kind of kidding about that, but no, it's for real. I mean, there's a huge polarization happening. I wanted to read a couple of the eclipse degrees to you from the great John Sandbach's Omega and Chandra symbols. So the eclipse degree for the Sag moon at the June 5th lunar eclipse, so the first of 3 eclipses this eclipse season, and Mercury retrograde, and the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction part 2 coming up. I mean, it's just a really do or die moment in a lot of ways, and the potential for enlightenment is off the charts, but you've got to decide if that's where you're going to go or if you want to stay in separation and slavery. So, no biggie, but you've got a month to make that choice, and probably a little bit later, but I would say, why wait? You're just going to suffer more, go for it, heal the trauma, step into your creative self-expression, your authentic self. So the degree symbol for the 16th degree of Sag, a magician's wand sprouting golden leaves. And this degree has a wonderful aliveness that allows and supports the flow of creative energy. It's a degree of fortuitous occurrences, which are allowed room to happen because creativity is engaged in with a minimum of expectation. What seems ended goes into a new cycle of growth, and what seems exhausted of possibilities suddenly and surprisingly spawns new potentials. It's all about attitude. So I find that one interesting. And then where the sun is in Gemini at the June 5th eclipse, dumping depression is the phase of symbols that that's part of. And the degree symbol is a man is projecting numbers at someone for the purpose of healing that person. Well, there's a lot of numbers being projected on social media and on mainstream media right now. Not sure if all of them are for the purpose of healing. But Sandbach writes, the mind under the auspices of the ego tends to want to manage, control, and understand everything. You are aware that this is not possible and that many wonderful things can happen by just letting down barriers and allowing energy to come through. Your spontaneity can rekindle a much needed aliveness in an overly tight and constrictive world. I don't know if overly tight and constrictive world sounds familiar to you, but it's basically, I feel like, really do feel like there's huge potential to accelerate the processes of personal evolution for anybody who's willing to dive deep and look at the way that you were programmed, the way that you were abused, the way that you've been traumatized, both family of origin, socioeconomic, racial, gender levels, and also by society and by the media. So right now we're experiencing the end point of 70 years of intentional propaganda, hypnosis, programming of the masses. And you can see it all around you if you can't see it within yourself. So, we need these cosmic accelerating energies of the eclipses. We need each other. We need positive input in order to be able to break free. But there's a tremendous opportunity to break free. And the degree where Mars is, so the focal point of this T-square at the eclipse, the phase of 5 symbols where Mars is, recognizing design beneath disorder. So as my partner Phoenix says, all of these clowns work for God. So all of these yo-yos, they all work for our good if we're willing to take that and act on it. The symbol for the 16th degree of Pisces, the degree Mars is at the eclipse, a troll living under a bridge. Ooh, that's really interesting. This degree seeks a simple, independent, and often isolated existence on the periphery of human endeavors. It knows how to get along with little and avoids complexities that might get in the way of its intensely inward focus. It has highly unique gifts and knows how to work silently and unobtrusively to make special contributions to the world. Contributions that may be beyond the comprehension of others. And the Chandra symbol, which is the next vibrational degree down in Sandbach's very extensive symbol system, is an innocent or a peaceful child on a narrow ledge that overlooks a precipice. So I think that's a really kind of beautiful image for the idea that our inner innocence, our inner child, can kind of carry us through this, even though we're in a really precarious position. And yeah, it's going to be intense. I'll be back with more eclipse updates as we get deeper into eclipse season.